Hey Taurus, I'm Daniel Red Wolf. You can call me Dan, and welcome to my channel. I definitely took a time off. Definitely took some time off from this channel, and I've been recently called back to really step into it and just help as many people as I possibly can. I'm an indigenous shamanic practitioner. I come from the Purépecha tribe in Mexico, and the last couple of years, definitely when I ended up taking a break from the channel, it was because I needed to go through a bunch of initiations to step into the role of the teacher, the role of the elder, and that's where I get the name Red Wolf, to be the teacher. And you've got to go through so many initiations that I feel like I've cried so much in the past couple of years than I've ever done my whole entire life. But either way, I'm excited to be back and do the monthly videos. It's going to be the monthly horoscope videos. I might also kind of sneak in there a couple of the mid-month or whatever spirit really calls me to do, as well as any videos from my practice, Colibrí Spiritual Wellness Collective, where it's going to be a lot of teachings or a lot of different what do you call it, modalities, different guidance from different modalities as well. I'm going to hopefully collaborate with different practitioners that are in the collective. So without further ado, this is your general reading for June 2023. And again, may not resonate with everyone. I always tell people, take whatever resonates with you and then put everything else in the back burner. May not make sense right now. However, it might make sense somehow. And as well as being a general reading, I want to invite you to take advantage of the welcome back offer that I'm doing. I've officially opened up my schedule to one-on-ones again, and it's been a while since I've opened up that schedule. So the schedule is open. If you can go to my website, bodysoulspirit.co, link below, and you can go ahead and schedule a session with me. I actually ended up adding, I usually only do 60-minute sessions. However, someone sent me an email and asked me, hey, is there any way you can do a 15 or 30-minute session? So I went ahead and added it. It's been a long time since I've done that. So you can book a 15, 30, 45, or a 60-minute session with me. And right now I'm doing a promo for 50% off of my original rate. So you can go ahead and schedule a session with me. Just follow the link below, and the 50% off goes all the way into the end of June. So you got some time to definitely sign up. I know the schedule's been definitely booking up really quickly. So if you're being called, I would love to work with you. So the way I do it is I pull out eight cards, and I kind of go, especially right as a medium. I've been doing this work since I was a little kid. So it's going to be 8 cards, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull cards from the Seers Tarot deck, and then guidance from our ancestors as well. And I use the Wheel of the Year deck. That seems to be one of my favorite cards. Either this one or the other. There's another one that I really like, and I cannot think of the name right now for some awkward reason. But let's see what's happening for Tauruses in June. So right off the bat, you have the Magician card, the Princess of Wands, the Moon card, so our grandmother Moon is showing up, the Hangman, Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, holy shit, and the World. And for those of you who have not met me before, I'm very direct. It could be because I'm an Aquarius. I'm an air sign across the board. So I'm very direct, and so, definitely a spiritual person, but and I always tell people, I'm like, it's praying and cussing, and that's me. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. So Taurus, right off the bat, this is the month of manifestation. This is the month of creation, of starting to see life through a whole entire different lens, from a whole entire different perspective. This is definitely has to do when it comes to work, as well as when it comes to finances, as well as romance. So you're really starting off the month by launching in terms of projects, launching in terms of creating new different things. There's a flow. It could be that there's going to be a flow of money. It could be that there's going to be a flow of ideas. However, there is going to be some battle a little bit towards the middle of the month, probably the second week or so, where you're really going to have to uncover some of the shadow work. There's going to be some doubts, some beliefs that you're like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. See it through a different lens, see it from a different perspective. It might also be that you might be launching something and you're feeling like it's not going in the right direction. Take a look at it from a different perspective. The moment you do, you're going to definitely notice a shift, because at the end of the month there is definitely that world card, and that is all the elements. For me, every time I see that card, it means all the elements are finally aligning and they're benefiting from you. One of the other things that also is coming clearly, very clear to me, is all of the four directions are aligning. So in our tradition, we have four directions. Plus, we also have our father, sky, and our mother, our earth. And in my in my tradition, we also honor our father, sun, and our grandmother, moon, or mother, moon. And so it's a lot of work in terms of shadow that has to get done. And I really feel like this is not just for you, but it's really going to be for across the board. However, this is your guys' opportunity this is y'all's opportunity to really begin to create, to manifest, to really begin to reap the rewards. So in terms of career, there is definitely going to be some shit happening here. Especially with this one, there is going to be a continuous amount of work. Some of you might actually be getting a side hustle that's really going to get you to that place. So it might be that you are starting a small business, that you are starting something, but it's going to be something manual labor, like with your hands. You're doing something. It's very active. So you might be starting something on Etsy. You might be starting something where you candles are really coming very clearly. Jewelry, whatever it may be. I also got an image of like t-shirts. Maybe you're designing t-shirts and stuff like that. So whatever it is, it's gonna start moving towards that direction. Definitely for some of you, it might start a little bit slower, and then if you're just launching it, for others, might be the time where it's gonna finally begin to take off. And it's really about, and I think, and when it comes to the shadow, it's going to be, what do you think about people? You're going to be worried about what people think about your work. What are people thinking about what it is that you're doing? That's really, that's human nature. Even I still deal with that crap, where it's like, what do people think about me? Even every single time I teach a class, I lead a ceremony, does not matter how many damn times I've done a ceremony, how many damn times I've done a class. It is scary. That shit freaks me out. And people are always just like, you're so calm. It doesn't look like you're nervous. I'm like, oh, heck no. I'm fucking terrified right now. Right? But the reason I'm terrified is because I'm terrified. I'm like in my mind wondering, what the heck are these people thinking about me? Oh my God, this person gave me this look. Oh, they must not like the class. All this shit goes in my mind, right? SFDs, shitty first drafts that we create. So that might be a little thing, some stuff that you might be dealing with in terms of your shadow. And it's important for us to care what people think. However, it's important for us to not care what everybody thinks, but certain people think. The people who are willing to judge you and say, hey, I'm not shaming you. I'm here to say, hey, that sucked. And I know it hurts or whatever. How I'm going to sit with you, right? Or if you fall, whatever it may be, right? Your shame buddy. So when there's someone that's not shaming you, and so it's definitely going to be a lot of self-worth when it comes to the month of June for you, for y'all Tauruses. So work related, there is also an opportunity for new, not just side job to be actually coming. I see a couple of you all that might actually end up getting a promotion. There is a promotion. And the reason I'm getting that is because with this card, so the Knight of Cups, for me, that really means that there's an opportunity coming. Every time I see water in terms of a cup, I feel like, hey, we're raising a glass, where there's a celebration, there's something, there's a flow. So there is definitely something coming, as well as this one. You have the Princess of Wands, right? Same thing. There's water in there that's flowing in that image. There's water flowing in that fountain. There's paperwork. So it also might be that you might be signing a contract. You might be buying a car. You might be buying a house. You might be purchasing a business, or even just like I said, launching your own business. You're finally maybe incorporating, whatever it may be. This is an opportunity for you to move into that state. One of the biggest things that they keep saying is cross every T, dot every I, especially if it comes to contracts. And begin to see things from a different perspective, because you might be seeing in one lens, it might be in someone else might be seeing in a different lens. It's about being open and being saying, hey, this is what I was expecting, these are my expectations, and this is what I'm expecting from you, right? So if it's like you getting a promotion or you getting a new job, put your expectations out there on the table. That can be the most vulnerable thing you can ever do. However, it is the part where it's going to really help you move into that state where you're going to be able to own that position. You're going to be able to own whatever it is that you're doing. So again, it's a lot of shadow work that we all have to get done before the year ends, so we can start 2024 with almost like a clean slate, right? So it's like the planets are aligning to give us a final scrub here. That's what it kind of feels like. So for a couple of you that are single, there is definitely someone coming through. There is definitely someone in terms of relationship coming through. It could be new friends coming into the picture. It could be water signs. It can be air signs as well. Even fire signs. But there is someone definitely coming into the picture. And for some of you, it actually might be someone that you haven't even talked to in a long time. Again, it might not even be a romantic partner, but for some of you, it's going to be a romantic partner. And for others, I feel like it's a friend that's coming to finally connect with you again and actually working with you. And this friend, for some odd reason, first, maybe, this might be just for a specific person, but I feel like this person is somewhere in the creative arts. They're very artistic. They're very handy with their hands. And the reason I got that is because of this hand, right? The Three of Pentacles, right? And they might be the ones that might inspire you to really do something. So if you're in terms of a love partnership, it might be that they're an entrepreneur. They might inspire you. They might motivate you. They might actually give you some tips and techniques to help you launch your side gig. For the ones who this is a friend coming, it might be that they're the ones that are going to inspire you to step into your true purpose, right? So a lot of you, it's really stepping into what actually the thing that you actually enjoy. For those of you who are coupled, I really feel like there is going to be a situation for some of y'all where it's either a separation, a divorce, that is going to leave you uneasy. Some of you are feeling like maybe you just gone through a separation, and maybe you are feeling like you can't move forward, like there's something happening. And it's all, I was going to say, it's always part of the of a divine plan that we've created for ourselves, right? I always say, I was raised knowing that every experience that we experience is something that we created, that we launched into our life for the evolution of our soul. So it was always told to me, it's like, Creator didn't put any of these in your path. You chose them all. However, you just chose to forget everything and what it is you're meant to experience. So some of you are going through a tough separation. Some of you are going through that divorce situation where it might be finalized during the month of June, or it might just be initiated in the month of June. However, you're going to have to move through those emotions. You're going to have to really allow yourself to process that pain, to process that hurt, right? I got the word narcissist. So some of you are maybe leaving someone who has narcissistic or even bipolar tendencies, right? Where there's a lot of control or manipulation. So that's definitely coming through when it comes for those of you who might be in a relationship that is time for you to get out of. A lot of times we forget that we invite people into our lives for a certain period of time. We just, in our mind, the moment we meet them or during the time we're with them, we feel that it's going to be long term. However, we always got to remind ourselves that, hey, this person was invited into my life by me, and I chose the date that they were leaving. However, I chose that unconsciously. So I don't know when it's going to happen, right? So then when it happens, we're hurt. But we still have, because we're human, we have to process that hurt, right? So let's see what validation stuff comes up. So Two of Swords, right off the bat, again, it might be that you're feeling like you're being held hostage, like you don't know what direction to go through. You're like, what the fuck do I do? Right? For some of y'all, I feel like your self-worth, you're wondering, oh my God, what happens if I leave this person? Or or if I leave this job, am I going to be able to find another job? Am I able to, if it's job related or if it's partner related, am I going to be able to leave this person? Will I be able to provide shelter for my kids? If you have kids, am I, going to be able to provide food for myself? Right. So all of these questions are coming up, but it's definitely time to take off that blindfold and say, hey, I am powerful enough to move myself into a new situation, right? And move yourself through it. Taking that leap is the hardest part, right? It's the hardest part. Like I said, going through initiations is not an easy part. It's not an easy task. My pops used to always say, it's not easy, it's not hard, it just is. It's very uncomfortable. And the discomfort is the place we never want to be in. However, we have to move into the discomfort zone because that's when we face adversity, and adversity is what triggers the challenge, the transformation. So as you move into that state, as you move into that new place into your life, you're going to notice that there's shit's going to move and you're going to come out stronger after. It might not feel like it because there's so much fear going. Remind yourself, hey, there's going to always be better opportunities out there. I'm always going to be able to put a new opportunity that's better out there. There's going to be healthier. There's going to be joyful, right, out there. The next one is the hangman again, right? Seeing things from a different perspective and really lowering it, getting out of your head and coming down to your heart. That was one of the best guidance I think my grandfather gave me. He was just like, I'm going to give you the best advice. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, shut up. Right? And I was like, okay. So I was quiet and I was like, what's the advice? And he's like, no, that's the advice. I need you to shut up. I need you to come from your head down to your heart. Your head is your ego. Your heart is your soul. So it's definitely going to be a month of transformation when it comes to relationships, partnerships. Queen of Cups. So you have a lot of water coming through. So that means you're going to have to process emotions during the month. So a lot of you, in terms of moving forward, you have to continue doing your healing. And the healing is really moving through that phase of processing our emotions, processing our feelings for whatever it might be. For some of y'all, it might be that there's some past life crap, not past life, but past history that you have to move forward from. You have to be able to move from, because that's keeping you from moving forward. So, and then again, you have the wheel. So it is all about shit is starting to move for Taurus this month, during the month of June. In order for you to, like I said, to move forward and invite that person that you want into your life, to invite that job opportunity, to invite the new phase in your life, if you're partnered and you're going through a tough situation, you're gonna have to let energy move. However, in order for us to let energy move, we have to release energy that no longer serves us. So any stagnant energy, or what we call it in our tradition, misplaced energy, right? So in our tradition, we always do like an egg cleanse, or we'll cleanse with I'm seeing them like plants, right, with herbs, right? Sometimes sage does not cut it, and that's me saying, we use sage, cedar, tobacco, sweetgrass, right? So, but sometimes sage is just not enough. We have to really, grab an egg or have stones, and as well as sometimes we have to do plants, right? So definitely going to be a transformative month for Tauruses. Again, there's definitely going to be the moment where you're going to feel like maybe even giving up, like this is going to be it feels like the month is so tough, or there's like you're not seeing an opportunity, or you're missing something. Start seeing it through a different lens. It's all about seeing life through the different lens so you can be able to transform your life. And again, it's going to be work. There's going to be a lot of work for y'all. There's going to be new opportunities. Some of you might be starting a new job during June. Some of you might be looking for a new job, and others are going to be definitely getting a raise. So there's definitely going to be a flow of energy. For some of you that are very intuitive, this message just came through, it's going to be time for you to step into your purpose, right? So it's going to be, and the reason I'm saying that is because I just saw tobacco, like a cigarette. In our tradition, we really focus on a lot of, in terms of healers. I don't actually do this. I keep getting told by my family and other healers that are indigenous. They're like, you are powerful and you can expand your wisdom by just reading tobacco. And I'm like, nah, like, the smoke. And I was like, nah, I'm good, right? So that's every time I get that image, it's like, hey, it's time for you to take that leap of faith and start. So whatever it might be, you might start a blog, you might start a healing practice, whatever it is, take that leap of faith. It's definitely gonna be a transformative month for Tauruses. So our ancestors is nature spirit. So nature spirit, you see this right here. Every time I see this card, it reminds me of Moana. So it is the taking, as earth, as an earth element, you are really truly connected to the elves, the fairies, right? The rock formations, all of those different elements that are in what we call the middle world, those unseen creatures. It is about being able to connect with them. And remember, anytime you connect with the creatures, the spirits of the middle world, they do have an ego. So it's like, hey, I need something, so okay, so I'm going to need something in return. So it's going to be tit for tat. So if you're wanting to start connecting with the fairies to help them guide you, they're going to ask you to do something. They might be like, well, you got to start cleaning the earth up. You got to start planting something. You got to start, stop loitering. Not loitering, littering. Clearly, it is too late for me. They're going to definitely ask you something, to do something. It's going to, again, be tit for tat, quid pro quo here when it comes to working with those spirits of the middle world. But again, it's take the time to enjoy being outdoors. A lot of you might actually enjoy going to hikes, going for walks. That is definitely going to be the most creative moment for you, the most creative way to get those downloads. I always say every single time we get different downloads, for me, is being out at night, staring up at the moon. That is when I go through my freaking healing crisis, where I'm in my backyard and it's like fucking crying like there's no tomorrow, right? It's like, damn, shadow work, right? And that's what our Mother Moon reminds us. It's like, hey, we have to look at the darkness, because once we accept the darkness, then we can really embrace the light that we hold inside. So, Taurus, hope you've enjoyed the reading. I feel like you guys are going to have an amazing month starting in June. Definitely a good rest of the year. Connect with spirit. In my tradition, we always offer tobacco to our Father Sun every single morning. Maybe that's something you want to offer. Maybe you offer tobacco or sage every single morning. Just burn it and offer to the sun, to the moon, whatever you're feeling called to. But bring nature into your house. I feel like that's definitely going to help you during this month. Aloe plants are really good, especially having it in the front entrance, because that will definitely absorb any low vibrating energy that's gonna trying to come through your door. So that's definitely gonna help. Bringing flowers into the house, opening up the windows, opening up the, not just the blinds, but actually opening up the windows and doors, letting the air flow is gonna definitely be something that you're gonna benefit from during the month of June. So overall, I hope you've enjoyed. Clearly I can't talk. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me today, but this is me, whatever. So overall, it's going to be a great month for you. And again, if you're interested to get a more in-depth one-on-ones, so I can answer your questions, go ahead and follow the link below to go ahead and go to my website and then schedule a session with me. I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see what happens next month. Take care. Bye.